Well, we had a great opportunity presented to us by the NCCA, and we were one of the first few schools that grabbed the opportunity, applied, and we were delighted to be accepted. We do have a bit of a track record in terms of curriculum development, of course, with our ICT for the last 10 or 11 years. So I suppose we were well poised to embrace such an opportunity. And we sat down, looked at the options and said, we were given the scope to start in 2012, and we said, why not? We had great support from our kids, great support from our incoming parents, and most importantly, fantastic support from the staff.
Now, when first years come into Coláiste Chiaráin, we will offer them up to 12 super options, from which they will choose 2. The difference with these super options basically boils down to the way we approach the learning and the whole teaching process. For example, there will be a huge emphasis on inquiry-based learning, problem solving, developing a confidence in the student, developing new skills that we wouldn't be able to develop within the mainstream subjects. Now remember, with the new super options, the pressure of the examination situation will not be on the students. It will be a different form of evaluation where they will evaluate their own progress. They will maintain an electronic e-portfolio throughout the 3 years, which will document everything they have achieved, every activity they have been involved in, their own response to the learning situation.
I think there are a number of implications for such an innovative initiative, and because it's quite new, I think the implications are both at the teacher level and equally at the student level. So for example, from a teacher level, there's a changing in requirements of how the module is delivered. So I suppose we're requiring teachers to move from what we call the sage on the stage to the guide and the side. From a student perspective, I think there's a very interesting change and a much needed one in terms of now students are taking ownership and given ownership for their own learning and development, and thus creates a more challenging environment for the student and building their skills and confidence level. And I think that will stand to them when they're making choice about career or further college education.
I think the partnerships are fundamental to the success of the super options in Coláiste Chiaráin. I think that these are groups, whether it's educational to the institutions of education, universities, also of course the business partners, the social partners, all these coming together, working with us in a very practical way, not just in terms of sponsorship or appearing at events. We're talking here about fundamental partnerships where our students can go, for instance, to the likes of the University of Limerick for periods, maybe get involved in terms of the teaching within the university, and also of course in terms of the relationships with the business community, looking at what they need and what we can offer and see can they be married to bring the best result for our students, not just at the end of junior cycle, but at the end of senior cycle and ultimately for life.
Well, I'm hoping that RTE can help provide some practical help to the students involved here. It's an incredible initiative to see it at work in the school here, and it's something that hopefully RTE can give some valuable support, some insights into the industry, and encourage kids to think about possibly a future career in places like RTE.
Having experienced the challenges and the demands of implementing a super options program here at Coláiste Chiaráin, we've discovered that we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're not doing anything that we haven't already done. But we are changing the way that we teach and changing the way that the students learn in such a way that we are empowering the student to take control of his or her learning, and hopefully to take that empowerment with them from second level into third level and indeed into the workplace.
My name is Alan Ballycoive and I'm with Team ACES, which is Animal Care and Equine Studies.
My name is Anna Parabianic and I'm in Team Exercise and Team Athletes.
Hi, I'm Siobhan Casey and I do broadcast and radio and television with Team TX.
Super options are different, but it's a good different. It brings you, maybe brings out the ability in you that what you're able to do, maybe something you can do in maths that you're able to do in your super option just feels like a home for you, for your abilities.
You feel kind of more free, you can add in your own ideas, and yeah, you're more independent, and Yes, I find it really fun.
So in our normal classes, we wouldn't really meet face to face with the animals, even if we were talking about them. We just study a bit about them and just look into books. But in this course, we actually get to see the animals, feel them, hold them, see their reactions to the surroundings and everything.
I think it's definitely better because in it you express yourself and it makes you more confident with being in front of people.
My favourite thing that we did is the making of the games and the trips, because it's just a really good experience in making the games. You learn lots of things, and the trips you learn a lot.
I found the last year fairly challenging, very interesting, fantastic new way of teaching, has changed me as a teacher across the board. Not just the super option teaching, but my main teaching as well, mainstream science. What I found most difficult was trying to change myself from an old science teacher, going down that track of experiments, theory, definitions, to try and move myself away from that. Reaction's been fantastic. Students have really taken to it, really enjoyed it. You can see some of them that were so shy at the start have just completely transformed, really come out of their shell. With the super options, world's your oyster basically. You can do anything you want basically. It's fantastic.
We would be hoping that in the broader educational sense, this would be an agent of change, not just within the school, but at a regional, at a national level, where I think we would see that we bring particular strengths, and if we can bring those appropriately to your students and they can themselves use those as a leverage, there could be huge potential in this. So we are very excited about this here.
I think that the Department of Education and the universities are very interested in what we're doing, and I think that it would be great, it would be wonderful if we got the chance to take this further into senior cycle with the view that these students could perhaps get recognition through the CAO or through the universities and, embark in something completely new in terms of Irish education. We hope that will happen.